in the first year, you start off with your core classes, and it's basic general electives such as a few science courses, elective courses here and there, your stats course. And then as you go on to your second year, you concentrate more on the business electives and you take the core classes. So, for example, this last semester, I had the option of taking either a finance core class or an operations core class, or maybe infotech. So there you start to look at these core business classes, and then you see what suits you best and you choose your path from there according to your own interests.
So when you look at your interests, it's mostly finance. So when does that start, and what are the levels of courses that you can choose from, and are there concentrations within finance that you might be more keen to sort of follow in the future years?
So you start off with taking the first intro course to finance, and then you progress to other courses such as corporate finance, advanced corporate finance. And then there are a ton of electives which you choose from. Like there are a lot of classes, and then whichever one seems more interesting to you, you take that. To answer the second part of your question, there aren't really sub concentrations within a concentration, but there are many tracks at Stern which are not formal, but you can pursue any track you find interesting. For example, asset management or real estate, and they tell you that each track is to complete each track, you need to finish so and so courses. So that's something which could be considered a sub concentration, but not really.
Okay. And in terms of applying what you learn, there are so many societies and other such forums. What are you part of, and what are the other options that you might be evaluating in the future?
Yeah. So there are a lot of clubs at Stone, and most of them are like pre-professional business clubs. So there's one category in which they help you to develop professionally, and you make a connection with the people over there. You build a network. So these would be like Alpha Kappa Psi or Beta Alpha Psi. These would be like professional business frats. And I am a part of Beta Alpha Psi. I just joined last semester. Apart from that, there are a lot of clubs catering to specific interests. For example, there are tons of consulting clubs, there are investment clubs, there are VC clubs, there is a finance society, there's anything which your interest lies in, there's a club for that. And if not, then students are always welcome to create their own thing at Stone.
Yeah, so about the frat that you're part of, the Professional Honor Society, how does it run? What are what is the structure, the organization structure? How do you progress as you continue to be part of it till your, say, senior year or the time you graduate? What are the benefits of joining?
Right. So it starts off when you're like a freshman, and because of COVID, we joined late. So my class joined in the sophomore year, but it starts off as a freshman, and then you attend a certain number of events to get some points. And if you're above a certain threshold, then they invite you to be a member of the club. So this would be like a non-exclusive rush process, because everyone who fills that threshold gets in, which is unlike other closed professional business frats where only selected members get to get in. But the clubs help you with developing professionally. They help you just sophisticating your resume, cover letter, helping you with mocks. That's one part of it. Otherwise, you can always develop a circle, a professional network, a social network, get to meet more people. And this is the rushing process, which is a little time consuming. But after you become a member, it's completely up to you how much time you devote to the organization. You can take a part and become a mentor for the juniors coming in, or you can join different boards which are on the club. And that's how you go about it.
Fantastic. So it's almost like, some career mentoring and some, having a big brother sort of to help
Right.
you navigate maybe internships or future career choices you might make. So Coming to that, how are you evaluating internships? How does the process work? What resources does NYU offer, or an NYU alumni or Stern alumni offer to get you to apply, as well as perhaps gain those internships?
Of course. So there are a ton of resources, especially in uh, the field I'm pursuing, so finance and investment banking. So, for example, in Beta Alpha Psi, I went through a series of workshops which helped me understand how to make my resume, how to make my cover letter, and how to network with people. So, in this industry, it's very important to get coffee chats, speak to people, and then develop your professional network so that when you apply, you are not a stranger, and it helps you sort of get in interviews and go ahead. Otherwise, except from clubs, there are also a lot of resources. You can talk to seniors at Stern. For example, there are things called peer mentors, which is an official process. Anyone can sign up, and it's a very helpful thing because they are students who've gone through what you are currently going through, and they are there to advise you with whatever help you want. And then there's, of course, the professional career development team, which can also help you along the way in securing a job in whatever field you want.
So within finance, what's exciting? I know there's the world is changing. You keep track of all the news, the economics of different countries, industries. What is it that you are personally sort of more interested in learning about?
Right. So I'm really interested towards like the investment side of financing. And right now, like at least in the US, the treasury rates are very low. And even though interest rates have risen a little bit, they are still like historically low. And that is really affecting the investment world. So, how the interest rates are going to change and how that's going to affect sort of decisions in the coming months or years is unclear right now. And that's very interesting to see where that will go. Otherwise, in terms of the world, I think China is a very big player right now. Its growth rates are slowing down at this point, but they are still very significant.